GHK Radio Season 2, Episode 7? Is it 7?
Yes, it is in fact Episode 7. Hello, hello.
Wow. Hello, friends. お久しぶり. It feels like it's been a long time.
久しぶり. It has been a while because 2 members of 3 have COVID.
Ayo, baby.
Really good at hiding it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna directly state it out so that way at the very start, then we don't have people being like, oh, why is there coughing? And then 20 minutes we get into the episode and they go, oh, they have COVID. If we just started off with that, then we don't have to worry about the coughing. See,
Just
problem solved.
Lay that all on
Easy
the
peasy.
table right away.
Uh-huh.
The worst part of it too is, like, right now I'm putting on my brave voice. I'm like, I don't sound that bad. It's the fact that I can't even tell if I have COVID or not, because in my area you have to qualify for testing, and I don't qualify to get tested.
Ripperino.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm not... You have to be like an immunocompromised person or like a frontline health worker, and I'm neither of those things. So it's like, oh, you can manage your symptoms at home. Just take a nap, drink some water, you'll be fine.
Take a nap!
It's like the government guidelines are like, just assume you have it and behave accordingly. I'm just like,
stay home for
okay.
now. Yeah, well, Kai, actually, the quick way to get a test is develop pneumonia related to COVID, and then they will when you're having breathing difficulties and you have to go to the ER, then they'll give you a test.
So,
I feel like
fake
after,
breathing difficulties.
After Tuesday, my breathing, I can't talk, oh my goodness.
Oh,
My
no,
breathing's
COVID
been
got
like,
to his brain.
my breathing's been like relatively smooth. Like, it's not
Okay,
been
that's good.
too bad. The air smells different.
Ah, yes.
But that's the only thing I smell.
I
Crispy
love the
air.
smell of air.
No, it smells like... Okay, so like, you know, like, you both live in areas where there is snow. If you go out right after snowfall, the air smells like crisp.
Mm-hmm.
It smells like that in my room, and it never smells like that in my room.
That's awesome. Dude,
Yeah,
I
my
wish...
room
room?
smells crisp. But then, like, dinner smells like nothing.
Yeah, when I had COVID, I couldn't smell much of anything, so I didn't lose my sense of taste. It was just smell, but smell is so like closely related
Linked.
to how you taste things that like food never tasted as good. But you're lucky, Kai, that like the only smell that gets stuck in your nose is the smell of crisp, fresh air, because the only smells that ever get stuck in my nose is like burnt light bulb. Or
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's such a distinct smell. Like that's probably the smell that gets stuck in my nose most frequently is burnt light bulb. And I don't know how or why.
Mom DM has a friend
Yes.
who currently has COVID,
Oh no.
and
See, I'm referring.
when this friend eats meat,
Mm-hmm.
the first couple bites taste normal, and then it tastes like gasoline.
Oh no.
Yep.
That's horrible. Yeah, so like strong pungent smells always get stuck in my nose, with or without COVID, but
Ah.
like
My
That's
sense of
just
taste is
disgusting.
fine. I could still taste everything just fine. And I can still smell
Okay.
bananas. That's like the one thing I noticed that I can still smell.
I don't know. I doubt your sense of taste if bananas are like on your top list of things that you like. Just in general taste. Like
Listen. Bananas are great, okay? You need to stop being a hater and embrace banana.
embrace
no,
the
thank you.
banana.
I can't embrace the banana because they are too soft, and then it will be gross and smell bad.
Slice them up and then, like, saute them a bit.
Oh my gosh.
And then
have
you,
like a
like-
bananas Foster.
And then
You, like, crisp up
they-
some sugar on it, so it's, like, caramelly and,
Mhm.
like, a little bit
Mhm.
crispy, and then it's, like, yum, 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 yum.
Kai, you know what the problem is with that? You spend all that time making it, and then the next step is putting it in the garbage. Like,
Oh my god, oh
this seems like a
no!
waste of sugar.
She just hates bananas.
Listen here, you little vegetarian. You're already picky enough by nature. Stop being extra picky with what you can't eat. Eat
No,
your
but
bananas.
Since I was an infant, I have disliked bananas.
Is it a texture thing?
I don't know. I just have always hated bananas.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't like the smell. I don't like the taste. I don't like the texture. I don't like how it looks. I don't like
I
the
don't
color
like
palette.
how it looks.
I don't like that it's through selective setups, we've continued to clone these bananas so that they're to the point that they can no longer reproduce on their own.
That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I will say, like, I don't know. I think I like bananas. I don't eat them super often, but I do like them like with peanut butter. And they do make smoothies much more creamy, but I really cannot stand artificial banana flavor. I think
that's a different type of banana.
I think that's the worst.
That's an extinct type of banana that's the flavor's based off of, because people ate too many of them for the artificial one. That's an extinct banana flavor. You are eating you dislike the flavor of dodo birds.
You are tasting through time.
But you know what though? Like the thing is I think if I were to eat, like, if this extinct form of banana was somehow replicated into the modern era and I were to eat the actual fruit itself, I would probably enjoy it. I think I would be okay. There's just something very distinct about, like, artificial flavoring. Like, I don't like artificial flavored watermelon either. Speaking of which, have you ever seen what a watermelon looks like back in the medieval times?
Are they like tiny?
Of the present.
Dude, okay, so like no one's gonna see this. Well, I guess I could post it if someone bothers me enough. But
I cannot see, for I am blind.
Hang on, watermelon in
COVID got to his eyes.
Oh no, my eyeballs.
Times. Like, talk about selective breeding and just...
At least the seeds still work.
Yes, the seeds definitely still do work, but
medieval watermelon.
Here, I'll post it in group chat.
I'm also gonna table the turns here on DM and say I don't like watermelon. So.
All right, well then Kai isn't allowed to speak anymore. But look at this, like look at how much of it is actual rind, and look at how much of it is the actual like edible red meat compared to like a modern day watermelon. That is nutty.
That makes like a bit more sense. Like if you look at other melons.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a bit more sense with how the like divisions are.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's really pretty looking once you slice into it, but like I don't know, it's just wild. And I'll try to remember to post it in the description below so people know what I'm talking about. But if you're listening to this and you just right away want to be like, okay, what does a medieval watermelon look like? Just type that in, medieval watermelon. It's pretty wild. Most of the inside of the watermelon is the white rind part that's considered inedible. And you really do have to like go in and sort of scoop out the red meat, sweet juicy part. All right, Kai, you can talk now. I allow you.
You have permission to speak.
You have permission.
That whole part of the conversation didn't affect me anyways. I don't like watermelon.
Yeah, that's fine. That's why you didn't get to speak, because it didn't matter anyway.
Yep.
Your opinions are invalid.
Speaking of opinions, that kind of rolls into my topic for this
boy,
week.
Here we go.
Because Harune was getting on my case last night, saying, why don't you ever research topics? Why is it always opinion questions? Because maybe listeners want to learn more about us. Have you ever thought of that?
Do they, though?
I mean, I listen to this podcast to learn more about my co-hosts.
But you
then
talked
again,
to us already.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second. Wait.
Would you deny our listeners learning more about us?
I mean...
I can't believe
Would you?
Got a memory like a sieve. It's like what was the Adam Sandler movie when he's got the romantic interest, but she's got memory loss, so every day she wakes up and yeah, that's Kai.
He's Drew Barrymore.
You're the girl.
Hello, I'm
Drew
Kai.
Barrymore.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Kai.
Hi.
But anyways, because I am such a generous god, I decided to actually research a topic today.
Wow.
Last night at 2 a.m. when I could be resting because I've got COVID.
You're an idiot and should have been resting anyway.
Harune wants me to research a topic, which actually does relate to food. So, haha, I've drawn it back around. It's your favorite topic, food.
He's researched it, but it's still about food.
Yeah. I mean, by research, really, what I mean is I was watching a travel documentary.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Listen,
Alright.
I really want to travel. It's been 2 years since I've gone out. I was supposed to go to Japan last year and the year before, and neither of those happened. So
That's
I
true.
might have been watching a travel documentary about Japan and may have gleaned a topic off that. Is that
Wow.
too bad?
No. No.
Yeah, I'm vetoing your topic and your research. Well,
That is
you
true.
need to pick something else. So
I mean, DM, you did spend some time living in Japan, didn't you?
I said I vetoed your topic, Kai. That means you can.
He's like, he just continues on. He goes, I don't care.
So, DM, you spent some time living in Japan,
I
didn't
did.
you?
I did.
Yeah,
I
you did.
spent
So-
time in.
So some of this might actually already be familiar with you, but what I wanted to talk about, what I was watching as part of that documentary, is the I guess concept of washoku.
Oh yeah, Washoku.
Washoku, which is like the way of Japanese culinary, I guess,
Yes.
the culinary ways. Harune, let me ask you,
Boy.
if you think Japanese food,
Yeah.
what would you normally think of?
Two things come to mind. I mean, the obvious instinctual brain thought is sushi and onigiri and things like that. But then, my mind also flips to like a traditional Japanese breakfast where you have like a grilled fish, some miso shiru, some rice, vegetables. You know, like just like a healthy array of
Mm-hmm.
very like traditional things, especially if it's like a local dish, or a local produce or a local I don't know, fish. something
Mhm.
local will obviously be part of that platter.
Centering on that breakfast platter idea that you had,
Mm.
though, did you know that all those types of like more traditional Japanese cuisine always follows like the rule of fives?
Eh? Well, I know it certainly
Right.
can't be 4 because
It's
4 is
always
a no-no.
actually
or
no.
bad number.
The number of items on the plate usually is 5. They almost always have rice, soup, and then 3 main dishes, as they call it,
Oh,
set as little dishes. They always try to incorporate the 5 main cooking techniques. They always try to cover the 5 senses. And they always try to meet the 5 colors.
really?
Right, like while Westerners think of food as different food groups, Japanese washoku considers foods by the 5 different colors.
Eh?
So, going over these rules of 5, of course, there's like the 5 tastes that they want to incorporate. They'll be like salty, sour, sweet, bitter, and umami, which in and of itself is a Japanese word. Some people think spicy is a flavor. Spicy is not actually a flavor.
What group would that?
Spicy.
Spicy, spicy is actually just like your tongue's pain receptors meeting capsaicin or capsaicin. I don't quite know how to pronounce it
Capsaicin,
before you
yeah.
get on my case. It's like if you were having a really nice meal and then somebody punches you.
Oh my god.
You wouldn't call that punch a flavor, now would you?
Sure, I would.
Well,
I mean,
DM,
there
you have
are,
very unfortunate
The
news.
taste of violence.
Wow.
but
No,
there are
but
like
the-
different.
the spicy on itself.
There are different kinds of spicy, right? Like we joke that like mint is just cold spicy, and
Like
you know,
wasabi spicy and curry spicy are 2 different spices. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're both just different types of pain. They're not actually flavors.
Yeah.
understandable.
But so they try to meet the 5 tastes. They try to meet, like, entice the 5 senses of smell, of taste, of sound. They'll have something sizzling maybe, or crunchy, touch or mouthfeel, I guess, some textures. And they try to make it very presentable to entice the sense of sight. They try to get the 5 cooking methods, which they say traditionally Japan has 5 cooking methods, but it's actually less than that because what they list is nama, which is cutting or raw food, niru, which is simmering foods, yaku, which is grilling foods, musu, which is steaming foods, and ageru, which is deep frying foods. But one of those is actually not native to Japan.
Oh, is it the
Do
frying?
you know which one? It is the frying one, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say
the,
that's a very Western thing.
the usage of oil in and of itself is actually not common in like old Japan.
Mm.
Wow, I'm sounding really academic right now.
I know. I'm so proud of you. This is a great topic.
And you just lost the academia level, like.
I'm smart. I talk food history. But yeah, like way back in the day, Japan only really had access to sesame oil, and that was only like really high class, rich money people that could do that. So
and
like
that was more for flavor,
the
right?
peasants. No, like they there was a little bit of frying with it, but the
But
peasants,
it's really
the
hard to
farmer
get that much
folk,
oil.
exactly,
Out of,
don't really. Yeah, like they
it's a
didn't have
luxury.
access to oil because it wasn't easy to produce.
Oh.
The method of using oil to stir fry and oil to deep fry actually came from China and Portugal. So
Oh.
tempura, like you would think tempura when you think Japanese food, right?
Yes.
Tempura is not native to Japan.
It's not.
Tempura was actually introduced by the Portuguese.
Oh,
Yep.
that's awesome.
But it
Ayo.
became such a staple food in Japanese cuisine that people nowadays wouldn't think Portugal when they think tempura, would they?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I guess I have always wondered because it is so different. Like when you think about the rest of Japanese cuisine just being like very fresh, very natural, and then all of a sudden you just have like breaded, deep fried vegetables and other things. It does make, I guess I always have sort of like wondered like, this seems fairly like out of place in a way, but now I know.
But the one that was most like interesting to me was the rule of the 5 colors. They'll always try to make their set meals have a little bit of each of these colors. They'll have green, red, yellow, white, and black.
Black. Okay.
They always try to so the examples that I was given, like green would naturally be like the vegetable. Apparently it's to represent how fresh the meal is. Reds and yellows would be warm, enticing colors to try to like encourage an appetite from you. So usually those we would be talking about like, meats or certain like vegetables. Orange would kind of fit in that category. White is almost always the white rice, which is the Japanese staple.
Right.
And they have an idea where they do not want to put anything on the rice to keep it pure.
Yes.
And black is supposed to be a colder color that suppresses your appetite to make sure you don't overeat. It balances out the red and yellow.
Huh.
And the examples they gave would be like shiitake mushrooms or like eggplants. Eggplants, even though they're purple, they're dark enough to be considered part of the black category. Which is why eggplant actually is quite prevalent in Japanese cuisine too.
Cool. Actually, it's funny that you talk about the reds and yellows because if you think about it, like if you think about fast food logos and their color schemes, even though they have different logos, the colors are usually almost always red and yellow. Maybe with some variation or with an extra color added to it, but apparently it's like scientifically proven that like red and yellow does encourage an appetite. And so that's why these fast food chains use those colors for their logos and stuff.
And then lot of social medias are blue because blue gives a feeling of like reliability or like you can trust kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's the opposite with food though. Actually,
Trust Facebook.
A lot of it's meta now. Actually,
yeah, I was gonna say trust the meta.
Oh,
welcome to the GHK metaverse.
Oh God.
Look, we got to clickbait a little bit here, but actually, it's the opposite for food. Blue is not a reliable color to use with food. You'll notice a lot of foods don't like when they use food coloring dye. A lot of it doesn't use blue dye because there's not that many natural ingredients that are the color blue.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, when you find things in nature that are blue, they are poisonous to you. So
Don't eat.
nowadays we're kind of, desensitized to it with like blue candy, blue Smarties, and etc. like that. But you won't find that many foods outside of candy that are blue.
That's fair. I could, yeah, that makes sense.
Did you know that Japan didn't actually have the color blue
Yeah, yeah, that was
for
like
a really long time?
it was like an introduced thing to them.
When you talk about even like with traffic lights, to give you a sense of how recent blue is, traffic lights. No, sorry, they didn't have a
Wait, it was green.
green.
Green,
It was
green,
opposite.
green.
It was opposite. Green was not actually a color that they identified between blue, so they actually called everything blue.
Right, because as soon as
So
you said
the
traffic
light,
lights, yeah.
yeah, traffic lights. I was like, wait a minute. So even nowadays in Japanese language, you say instead of a green light, you say it's a blue light.
Even though they know like conceptually that it's a green. The color is
Right.
green,
Yes.
but they've just been so
Now
used
they know
to
it's conceptually.
yes.
So
Going-
for the traditional food to have green on the palette there on the plate means blue.
That is correct, actually. That wasn't a thing I brought up yet, but if you look into the characters, it's actually owl. Owl is one of the 5 colors they want to cover, which actually
please.
is blue, but nowadays
green.
they interpret it exactly. They interpret it more as the green for vegetable, but they would,
It's weird.
it's green blue as one of the
Yeah.
5 colors that they want to meet.
That's so interesting. And especially since like, it's not that they've never seen green before, like you said, it's not that they didn't know what green was. They just always called it blue. So
But there's when it comes to like language identification, there's a lot of speculation and theory going back and forth on like why certain things are like
The way they are.
are we unable to identify a color until there is a way to separate it from our expectations? Because if you look at like historical poetry and stuff, when they're talking about like the sky, they don't usually mention it being blue. They'll mention it being like bright or a wine dark sky, which wine dark is going to be dark red.
yeah. Oh, that's weird.
To like to describe it being at nighttime instead of it being like a dark blue or navy blue or such. They say like wine dark instead, right?
Okay.
So there's a lot of interesting speculation and theory on like the recognition of colors and things because a lot of some historical there's multiple historical groups that did not have a word for blue for a really long time.
Right.
Until it was identified and then started getting spread. And then it's just weird. It's weird. It's great.
I'd be really interested to see where that sort of study goes. I'm fascinated by that. That's super cool.
Although, I mean, I say that all these like different color theories and stuff going into Japanese cuisine. My favorite Japanese food is like brown. And that's it. It doesn't.
Brown
really
is not a food.
fit
I don't know how to
into
tell you that.
Any of.
Fried chicken is not typically Japanese, Kai, but like they do have it in Japan.
No, actually, my favorite Japanese food is gyudon. It's just simmered
Fried
beef
chicken.
on rice.
Fried chicken. It's just fried chicken.
No,
Kai
okay.
likes fried chicken.
Listen, okay. When I stayed, I lived like the apartment I was like staying at was right above a Yoshinoya's, which is like a chain beef rice bowl.
Yep, super duper cheap beef bowl.
Super duper cheap. We're talking like maybe $4,
$2-3.
Exactly.
Holy crap!
For lunch special, you can get for like $3.
Exactly, and it's like a bowl of rice with like simmered beef, onions, some pickled radishes. I guess that's the yellow there if you want, but really it's just brown on white. And I had that every day for breakfast.
Jeez.
For like 2 weeks straight.
My goodness, that's wild.
I don't normally eat breakfast in Canada. Like, I would have maybe some cereal for lunch. I might have like a slice of bread, but I don't really get involved with the whole eggs and bacon, full English breakfast type deals. Like it's
too
rare for
much.
me to have like a big breakfast. But like when I was in Japan, no, every day it was a beef rice bowl. I was like, this is it. This is what I live for. This is why I wake up every day.
This that's it. That's why you wake up is for this
Yeah.
beef bowl.
I mean,
Yep.
what's everyone else's favorite Japanese food? DM, you lived in
Um,
Japan for a bit. You must have sampled this and that.
I like gohei mochi.
Do you?
Gohei
Yeah.
mochi?
Gohei mochi.
Gohei mochi.
I've never had
gohei
it, but
mochi,
I've
gohei mochi. It's unique to like the Gifu and Aichi prefectures in Nagano. So like even in Tokyo, if there's
Mhm.
people that are just like straight up Tokyoite type of people, and you telling me, oh yeah, I like gohei mochi, they might not know what it is.
Hue.
I know what it is,
So
and I
it's
want to try it, but I've never tried it. Sorry, go ahead.
it's really tasty because I was in Aichi prefecture, and so anytime there was like a festival or anything, it was just like gohei mochi time. And the type that I would get would be the waraji shape. So it's
The
like
sandal shape.
yes, and it
Yes.
was invented in the Edo period.
Hue?
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Yes, and so it is it's different from regular mochi. So regular mochi is usually pounded until it's completely smooth and it becomes very
Mhm.
elastic.
Mhm.
So this one is only like halfway done, so some grains of rice still last, but it's still like elasticy and keeps itself together. So they formed that into like a sandal-like shape on a wide bamboo stick. And then it is grilled with a sweet and sour sauce that's made with sugar, soy sauce, and mirin. Mirin is the sweet cooking wine.
That's
So
actually that sounds pretty close to the base for teriyaki, actually, because I make teriyaki sauce with meat and soy sauce and sugar.
yeah, but this one, it since it gets grilled on over fire usually, is that it's just so good. It's so savory, and then like the sugar crystallizes when it gets grilled.
It sounds like the balance of meat and sugar is a little different for this one because you said it's
Yeah.
a little more sour, and if you want the
Yes.
caramelizing of the sugar.
Yes. But they have a whole bunch of different types of gohei mochi sauce. So some of them have honey, sometimes they
Mhm.
have walnut, sometimes it's got egg, and sometimes it has hachinoko.
Hatsinoko.
Hachinoko. Hachinoko. Do you know what hachi is? Or bachi? I'll let you know what sound they make. They go bzzz.
Larvae?
Yeah, wasp larva. That's one of the traditional coatings on it.
I've seen, I think I've seen like just soy pickled larvae on sale, so I'm not that surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yep, but that's one of them. I've never had that way. I always had like the standard one. And when it was cherry blossom season, the entire river area would be lined with stalls for like traditional Japanese festival style, and I would usually get my gohei mochi from there. I would finish work I could only go on Saturday nights, and sometimes I could go to the stalls before work. Some of them opened kind of early when it was cherry blossom season because it was like a week of
Oh,
stalls being open. But on Saturdays, I would finish work at 9 p.m. instead of 10 p.m. And no, wait, 8 p.m. I would finish at 8 p.m. And make
excuse
sure
me.
that I had everything taken care of. And then I
Mhm.
would run to the river so that I could buy the rest of his gohei mochi because usually he was down to like 4 or 5 of them. And I would just like run there, get there breathless. This foreign teacher in like a 3-piece suit, just like in heels, ran all the way from the school to the festival area. And I'd just be like out of breath, and he'd just be like, "You want all of them?" And I'd be like, "Yes, please, all of them, please."
I did find a recipe for it. With I think it was the walnut sauce you mentioned. Is it like walnut and miso, or am I mixing up two sauces here?
I'm not entirely certain. I didn't have
Right.
it with the walnut. I found a list thing that was explaining different other toppings that people would have on them because a lot of the food in Japan is very like region based. So it's specific to each region. So the ones that I had in Aichi were just like the standard soy sauce, mirin, and sugar.
Yeah. I think Hokkaido had like regional butter ramen, from what I remember.
That's probably a thing.
But like the way the recipe I found it was like the way they explained like gohei mochi with regular mochi is they compared it with peanut butter. They're like, if regular mochi is smooth peanut butter, you only want to pound this to chunky peanut butter.
Yeah,
like,
that's about the same.
Leave some chunks in it, so it's got the.
Wait, so it has chunks of rice in it, or?
Yeah.
Well,
it's like if you think of it,
so like normal mochi, when they make it, they use a very large hammer and they just like mash and pound the rice until it's completely smooth and broken up. But the mochi that you use for gohei mochi is only like halfway there. So if regular mochi is smooth peanut butter, gohei mochi is like crunchy peanut butter. You still have chunks of rice in it, but it's still bound together with the glutinous paste that is formed from the grains that are all the way smashed up.
Oh, and then the way you describe it is like savory. So like, would you eat it
savory? It's grilled.
Oh, it's grilled.
It's grilled on a stick. Yeah, it's grilled on a stick. So you form it onto a stick, and then that's on a grill, and they paint the sauce on it, and then continue to grill that until it like caramelizes and crystallizes and gets a nice layer of the sauce on the outside.
Like hot dogs on a campfire.
I think I'm recognizing the description now. I really should just look at a picture of it. Oh, there we go. Kyodoryori.com has gohei mochi.
Gohei mochi. I love gohei mochi. It was I found when actually when last time I went to Japan just before COVID, I was able to meet up with the manager for my office before. And she had actually found an omiyage pack, which is an omiyage is like a souvenir, and all over Japan, like each region has its specific souvenirs. Like Tokyo has like Tokyo banana is one of the really big famous ones, and Hokkaido has like Hokkaido butter cookies and stuff. And so she found one that was gohei mochi, and it was vacuum packed, the mochi already on the sticks, and then it had separate packets of sauces, and it had instructions how to cook it in like a toaster oven.
Yes, ayo.
So,
is that any good though? I mean, like
it was good. No, dude, you have no idea. The omiyage food in Japan is amazing.
Oh, because I've had prepackaged mitarashi dango.
Mm-hmm.
It was not as good as like ones that are made in front of you, like, but it was.
But did you have it in Japan?
Yes.
I
had prepackaged mitarashi dango in Japan, and I was left sorely disappointed.
Oh no!
Sad.
And then I walked down the street to get like fresh made ones, and I was like, this is better.
You're like, yes, this is how it should have tasted.
I should have started from here.
Yeah, fresh mitarashi dango are always the best way to go.
It just it didn't have that like staleness to it, you know? Like mitarashi dango is supposed to be chewy, nice and chewy and sticky, but the prepackaged one kind of hardened up on the middle a little bit.
Oh
so
no! Did you have to prepare it in any way?
Crumbly. They just said microwave, so I microwaved it.
Maybe you just didn't microwave it enough. Like the heat didn't reach the center. If it got crumbly, that's kind of gross.
A lot of Japanese, what's it called? Konbini? They'll have microwavable food with stickers on it just giving you a number, and then you go up to the convenience store microwave. It has that number and it presets how long it should cook. So I just follow the number.
Oh.
Like you don't say medium high 1 minute, you just say 2, and then it like presets the right time and
so it's like already pre-calibrated and stuff.
Exactly. They'll like put a sticker on the package that you buy if you plan on microwaving it there.
なるほどね. Well, dang. Sounds like they screwed up.
I just think the prepackaged one probably wasn't that good.
Probably not. Yeah.
It do be like that sometimes. If it were just as good as fresh ones, no one would buy the fresh ones.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta keep the fresh best. Fresh is besto.
Fresh koripan was so good though. Oh my god.
Yeah. There was at my right next to my old work, there was a bakery, a little family run bakery,
Mm-hmm.
Tiny little family-run bakery, but every single day, like, super duper fresh. So there were so many times that I just went over there and bought food.
Dude.
Mine
I
actually
want
wasn't
that
a
for
bakery.
me.
Mine was a curry restaurant. But
Oh.
they had a little takeout window where they would like sell like curry coronets and curry buns. And it was like the evening. It was a December evening. I'm pretty sure it was like December 24th. It was like Christmas Eve. It was like kind of snowing lightly, and I was walking down the street by myself. I saw this like window. I got a curry bun, and you're not supposed to like eat while you walk in Japan. So I just stood next to the window and finished
Wait,
up
what do
the
you mean
bun.
you're not supposed to? Is that like just
Yeah, you're not
socially
supposed to eat
frowned
and walk.
upon, or
It
It's
is
socially
frowned upon. Yes.
Yeah.
oh,
If you buy like street food, you're supposed to
That's
eat it
why.
next to the stall and then throw away
Yes.
or like hold on to your garbage until you
Yeah,
get to
that's
somewhere that has a garbage can.
part of like the stereotypical anime heroine like running with her toast in her mouth. It's to show how like absent-minded and clumsy they are for not giving themselves proper time to actually eat their food in the proper place.
dude, I used to eat and go places all the time. Like,
In
Yep,
Japan,
that's
you'd be
so
stared
normal.
at.
Frowned upon, and it kind of makes it seem like you're a messy person.
It got to the point where like if I bought a bottled drink in Japan, like kalpisu or like a Pocari Sweat or anything, I would like only take a sip of it if I was next to a vending machine. Like I'd walk to the next vending machine and then stand next to it to take
stop
a sip,
and
and
sip
then like
and
keep
then
going.
take a sip.
See, when I started off living in Japan, I was like that. But then by the time I was like finishing my contract, I was at the point where I was the one who was cracking open a beer on the train. So
I do think with drinks they're a little less strict with that. I think
no,
it's
drinking beer on a train is still very, very much frowned upon. But
Oh, yeah, I
I was
mean,
in a
that's
very,
very-
very rural area. I was in
But-
a very rural area, so usually the other people that were on the train at that time of night were other like businessmen who would also drink their beers on the train at the end of a long day, and they
Ayo.
would just kind of give me like a knowing nod if they saw me like sitting there holding my beer.
Just hold up your beer in solidarity. Just be like, ah, yes, air cheers, my dudes.
I've had times like that. I understand.
I mean, like, I'm pretty sure no one would really bat an eye if you took a sip of water while walking. But if you had like,
Oh
if you
no,
were
that's also
if you were
still, like,
unwrapping
water.
like
No,
an
Kai.
egg
That's
sandwich,
also Kai. That's also still frowned upon.
is it? Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, it's messy.
Well, dang. That's so funny, though. I just, like,
Right?
wouldn't give two poops. I'd be like, listen, to optimize time, I will eat and walk, and I do not care.
Most of my Japanese lunches were ate at the side of like a convenience store, just outside
Yeah.
next to the door.
Well, that's the
Dude.
proper place.
See,
Yeah, that's where everyone is. Everyone's just stood there eating their onigiri, eating their like corn dogs with
Mhm.
their energy jellies, and then they'd like put the garbage back into their little bags, or like if the convenience store has a garbage can, they'll throw it there. But if not,
Yeah,
they'll just
most-
carry
most-
bags of garbage.
Yeah, pretty much all the convenience stores have garbage cans that are accessible. That's like the only place, other
Right?
than sometimes the train station, where you have access to like a public garbage can.
Heh.
They just
Yeah.
don't have garbage can. You're just expected to
Nope.
hold your garbage until you have
Yep,
access
you
to a
just
garbage
carry your
can.
trash. And it's kind of crazy because you'd think like with all of the missing like the lack of garbage cans, you'd think that there'd be like garbage all over the place. No, it's like
Oh, it's
super
very clean. Very, very.
It's super clean. Unless you're like in middle of Tokyo and they're in an area where they like pass out flyers a lot, then there's gonna be
Yeah, flyers
Even-
all over the
on the floor.
ground, but
Even in Tokyo, it wasn't too bad. I think the
yeah, it
worst
wasn't
place
as
I
dirty
saw,
as other places I've been to. Yeah,
the dirtiest place I saw was Akihabara.
Yeah.
that's not
And-
surprising.
There was just like so much, like it,
Well,
it was
it's-
just like a
it's
lot of
because of
stalls
the-
are like the small that like they're like in
The
little alleys and
advertisements.
stuff.
Hmm.
The alleys just full of like papers and stuff all over the floor. I'm just like,
Yep. It's because there's a whole bunch of people like passing out flyers because there'll be people passing out flyers for sales, for restaurants,
Yep.
for maid cafes,
yep.
for
And it's also
a
just
whole bunch of stuff. So
it
that's
just
like,
attracts a
it's-
lot of
it's
foot
paper-based.
traffic,
Yep.
Mhm.
and I'm sure a lot of international visitors that don't give two poops about
Mhm.
littering.
Very much remember walking down an alley to an anime store in Akihabara. That was the first time in Japan.
Japan,
That was
Japan.
the first time in Japan
Japan.
the word grimy crossed my mind. I was just like, ooh, it's not clean here.
Yep.
But everywhere else looks like it all looks so pristine and modern and clean. Like everything looks so presentable in Japan. Whether it's like really urban settings, all the buildings and stuff, or like the gardens. I went to the Imperial Gardens and it was like everything looked nice and neat and tidy, except Akihabara, which is like
Yeah, I
it looked
expect
like an
that.
organized mess. It looked chaotic,
Mm-hmm.
but everything had its place, if you know what I mean.
Yeesh.
But anyways, I'm not here to tell you a whole traveling documentary. I just want to talk
Talking about
what's up here.
breakfast.
Exactly. So, do we want to go to someone else's topic, or do we want to finish off the game we started last week?
We should finish off the game. before we get
Ooh,
too
we're
far.
finishing off the game. Okay. For those that remember, last week we had a little game of 2 truths and a lie.
Yes.
Yes, this was a game that viewers could play along with. They were allowed to comment what they thought everyone's truths and lies were. We were all supposed to present 3 facts, 2 of which were true, 1 of which was a lie. And what we presented was, let me pull up my notes here real quick. I'm just going to go down the list. I said that I apprenticed at a bakery, have a boating license, and received coaching for voice acting. Now, Harune and DM, do you remember which one you said was the lie?
The coaching for voice acting.
Coaching, I think. Yeah.
That is correct. You both said that that was my lie. Well, that is correct in that
Can
that
you
was what you
reveal?
guessed.
Boating license?
I don't have a boating license.
Dang!
I thought.
I considered getting one.
Wait, don't you get your boating license in middle school?
No.
No.
That's where I got my boating license.
I
Haruna,
did
you
not
keep forgetting
get
that
my
we're in
boating
Canada.
license.
I
In
just
middle
thought it was I mean, we're so close geographically. I just somehow thought our curriculum was modestly the same.
We're in a different
I'm
country.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
If you were like across the pond, then yeah, I would probably say you didn't have a boating license. Gosh dang it. Okay. Sorry.
I do not have a boating license. I did buy my dad a boating license. I paid for his boating test. But I personally do not have one. I did apprentice at a bakery, but I didn't get hired by them. And I was in a one-off voice acting coaching session with Tom Oliver.
With who?
Ah.
He's like he's an anime voice actor for like English dubs.
Mm-hmm.
Most notably for me. I'm sure he voiced many other roles, but the one that mattered to me was he was Lancer in Fate Stay Night. So.
Oh, okay, wow.
Oh, okay.
I met him at a convention. He pulled me up on stage, and then we had like an impromptu voice act coaching session there.
Nice.
Half
nice.
an hour. But
For half an hour.
Was it was like a panel. It was like it wasn't like a full-on lesson.
Oh.
But he made me voice act on stage and then like gave me tips and stuff.
Oh, that's really cool.
Nice.
But yes, the lie is I do not yet have a boating license. I can get one. It's like $80, but
Man.
I could get one if I wanted one.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Should have just gone to
DM.
middle school in America.
Do you remember the 3 facts that you gave, DM? Moving
Yes.
right along. Yes.
Okay,
what were the
ignore
3
me,
facts?
fine.
Yeah, Harune was the one who went next, guy.
No, that's
No.
okay. No. DM next.
No, I'm going down the list. I have you written next.
Oh, okay. So we had locked myself in the car seat as a child and got stuck.
Mhm.
I didn't wear shoes as a child until I got stabbed between the toes by a rusty nail and I had to get a tetanus shot. And I've been to Disneyland over 30 times.
Mhm.
And Harune and Kai, do you remember your guesses?
I think I guessed about the Disneyland. I don't
I
have my
also
notebook.
Yes,
I
it was
also
both
guessed
Harune
that-
and Kai said
Mhm.
Disneyland. So, my lie was about the shoe wearing and getting stabbed between the toes. That didn't happen to me. That happened to my sibling.
Oh, how fun. It just was so specific. I was like, that had to have been the thing that happened.
It was pretty traumatizing. I remember it happening very vividly to the sibling, so that's why it's so
was
clear for me. To
Now
bring
it
back.
makes sense. If it happened to a sibling,
yes.
That one was very believable to me because my sibling went through something very similar.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
He
I was
has-
good about wearing my shoes outside. I went barefoot a couple times, but I never got my stabbed in the feet by anything.
Yikes.
I think he was like maybe 8 years old, my little brother. He sat on like this wooden It's not really a curb, but it's like a wooden border of like a play area. It's kind of like a curb. He sat on the wooden plank there, and got a splinter up his bum.
Oh no!
And it was apparently like an inch and a half long. And they had to take him to a hospital where the surgeon that removed it couldn't stop laughing.
Oh no, that's terrible!
Because there's just this 8-year-old boy in the ER face down with his butt in the air as they tried to. They pulled out like a really long splinter from his bum, and he's got.
No.
And like everyone was laughing at him. It was great.
That's so sad, though. 'Cause, like,
But that's why I believe the Neil story. I totally thought that was true.
oh my gosh, no! But your poor. I mean, like, I don't often feel sympathy for your brother, but
True.
But like that had to have been. Like, if he ever is bitter about anything in his life, I would believe it if it were that. Like, oh man. Sorry, little bro guy.
So you've been to Disneyland over 30 times.
Gosh dang, okay.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of times to be in Disney. I have never
like
been
Disneyland.
I've never been to Disney.
I've been
I like
twice.
Disneyland.
I've never been Disney.
I've been to Tokyo Disney like 5 times?
Oh wow.
Maybe more.
Sasagane.
My cousin
I
passed
don't
out from
keep-
heat stroke in Disneyland. I remember that.
Awesome.
Well,
What a memory.
Now, Harune, do you remember your 3 facts?
I had it written down on my notebook, but I am locked out of that room, so I can't go get it.
uh-oh.
Well, I do have it written down.
Okay, please.
Your 3 facts were that you've written a book before, which DM thought was the lie. You can solve a Rubik's Cube, which I thought was the lie.
Okay.
And you can twist your arm all the way around,
Okay.
which we both thought was true.
So, my lie is that I've written a book before. I have not.
I win!
I have not written a book before, but I can solve a Rubik's Cube and I can twist my arm all the way around.
Now,
I
define
win! You are all now subservient to me.
define book.
Like
I mean-
a published work of literature.
Did you not post your Voltron fanfic online?
Leave me
That's
the
not a book.
heck alone! Do not talk about that here!
Wait, do you
I
have
know.
Voltron fanfics?
Stop it!
See?
Voltron
Nope!
fanfics?
Nope!
She
I don't.
may have
Was it
written some
about-
pretty
was
it about
saucy
Keith?
Voltron.
It's
Was it
not.
about Keith?
It's not saucy. It's not saucy. It's very wholesome, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. I've never. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. The topic is off limits. I can't believe you would bring that up.
Harune, we are sick right now. You can't yell at us
And
like that.
as of next stream, it appears that we're going to just have a GH radio now.
K
She's
is
yelling. She's
automatically
yelling at the
kicked out.
sick people. She's yelling at sick people.
Can't believe you'd bring that up.
No, she's not yelling at me. She's yelling at you. They're
Yeah.
not people.
Fanfic's my next topic, by the way.
Hate
Oh
you.
my
I'm not
God.
going to talk about it.
Yeah, prepared for next week.
Nope. No, I won't be here. I refuse to be here.
Excuse me.
My goodness. But yes, I can solve a Rubik's Cube, and yes, I can twist my arm all the way around. So Kai, you were wrong, and that's what's important here. GM was right, and you were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I win. I
You
win.
do win.
Mm-hmm.
So what's our next game?
I thought we'd be going on to a topic first.
Oh, okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
topic.
Oh, okay, all right. Girl?
Um,
Or would you like me to go first?
my topic is
Yes.
soda.
Woo!
The sky?
Soda, not soda, you dingus!
Soda.
You absolute nupty, I can't believe. Get your ear. Did you lose hearing when you got COVID too? What was that? You want to talk
Yeah,
about the
you
sky
get,
for 20 minutes? Are you kidding?
I I think you bringing up Aharune's fanfic may have like set her off a little bit for the rest of the podcast.
You
She's
really
not allowed
want
to
to
yell at
talk
me, I'm
about the
sick.
sky?
She's not
Be
allowed
my
to yell at me. I'm
guest.
sick. She's not allowed to yell at me. I'm sick.
What's that? What do
I
you
mean,
see
you
up in the
kind of-
sky,
you-
Kai?
It's kind of like if you like. You started it, Kai. Like she's more than well ready to be entitled to clap back at you. Soda.
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 Oh my god.
Okay.
Soda. What's your favorite soda?
Verner's.
What's Verner's?
That's
Ginger ale.
Oh.
Yeah. You guys have Canada Dry. We have Verner's.
We do have Canada Dry.
Yar.
We do.
Get dunked
I-
on, Kai.
Don't know how to answer that.
Get dunked on. Think about it.
You drink soda.
I do.
You just drink it unconsciously?
He just grabs whatever's available and just drinks it. While Kai
it's
thinks
more
about
like
it.
I can't decide on a favorite.
All right,
Like,
well,
there's
think about it.
multiple that I like a lot. For different reasons, though.
Okay. What about you, DM?
But no, you sounded like you had something to say while I thought about it.
Oh, I like there is a pomegranate
Ooh.
soda.
Uh-huh.
But I'm trying to find. I think it's. Hang on. Barbican.
Barbican?
Barbican.
I've never
Is
heard
the
that
brand.
brand before. Let me look it up. Barbican.
So
how do you
it is-
spell that?
Barbican.
Barbican drink.
Barbican. Pomegranate Barbican.
Heh. It looks like it should be it's a non-alcoholic malt drink.
Yes.
Heh.
It's a soda.
It's a UK soda.
It's
Or-
from the United Arab Emirates. Emirates?
Heh.
So it's a Arabic soda, and I came across it at our Walmart because they have a whole bunch of imported stuff,
Oh, sick.
and it's just very, very, very tasty.
Heh.
Yes.
That sounds yummy. You know,
It's so tasty.
if you like that, then you might like lambic, which is an alcoholic beverage, but sounds like
Lambic.
pretty similar. It's a Belgium wheat beer. Is a
Ooh.
lambic, but it's pretty fruity. Like my favorite lambic is raspberry. Here, let me see if I can send a picture. Raspberry lambic beer. I think the brand is called Lindemans. Yes. Oh, this stuff is
That sounds tasty.
The heckin' bomb. I love it. Let me just drop it in the chat. We're sharing so many pictures together, and chat doesn't get to see.
Oh, that sounds tasty.
But I think you'd really like that if you like the
Barbican?
Yeah.
Barbacoa.
Yeah. Barbican.
Yeah, but that's some good stuff. But yeah, so you said you came across it. Was that recently in your Walmart or?
Yeah, I just had it like last year, I think.
Oh, really? And that was the first time you had it?
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
And I was like, well, because I like to buy like interesting drinks. So any of the drinks that have like basil seeds in them or chia seeds or various weird things. Like I've gotten lemon coconut soda, not lemon coconut, lemon cucumber soda before and such.
Ooh, that sounds
just 'cause,
refreshing.
like, it's refreshing, but not my
Ooh.
favorite.
Understandably so.
Yes.
Wow. Well, I'll have to go see then, because I know we do have I don't shop at Walmart, but at my local grocery store, they have like a whole section of imported like beers and wines and things like that. And I know it's a non-alcoholic beverage, but if it's even remotely beer-like, even if it's not alcoholic, then it might be there. So I'll keep my eyeballs peeled. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
We also have an international section in the store, so
It might be in the international section.
I'll have to check
That's
it
where I
out
found
next
mine.
time. Ooh.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited. I like trying new things. Have you thought about it, Kai?
Yeah, mine's gonna be a multi-part answer, I think, because I just can't decide on one.
That's fair.
If we're talking strictly about like carbonated sodas, I'm not gonna count like lemon iced teas, like Nestea and all that. Like even though they're a canned beverage,
Okay.
I do like those. But I am quite fond of ginger ales, like you said, Canada Dry. You'd have Berners, I'd have a Canada Dry. But that's probably just because that's the one I drink the most commonly. There are two other drinks I can think of that I don't have as often, but I'm still quite fond of. I do like Dr. Pepper's a lot.
Oh, God, it's been years since I've had a Dr. Pepper, but I used to really love those too.
That's the thing. What stemmed from it is an incredibly nerdy reason.
Okay.
I saw it heavily advertised in an anime.
Really?
So,
Really?
yes, and I could tell you which one it was.
Okay.
Steins Gate?
No, that's what everyone thinks, but no.
No,
I saw it
which
heavily advertised in Kami-sama no Memocho,
I do
the
not
God's
know what that
Notebook.
is.
It's like a very like niche one-core detective, like little girls staying in a room detective anime.
Really? And they heavily advertise Dr. Pepper?
Because she had like a whole Sherlock Holmes weird diet thing going on, where the only thing she would ever eat is salt ramen with green onions and Dr. Pepper.
Oh, that sounds
And
horrible.
that was like all she subsisted on. So I bought a Dr. Pepper to try for the first time, and I hated it.
Okay.
And then a week later, I was like, I'm stupid and daring. I'll do it again. And then it grew on me from then on.
It is like there are some beverages that like if it is even slightly just a little less than crispy cold just taste absolutely nasty. And I think Dr. Pepper is one of them. Like it is best served like ice cold, but not frozen, obviously.
Same
but...
with root beer. Like anything but anything less than cold root beer is worse. Is
yes.
the best.
I'm fine with warm root beer.
It tastes like toothpaste to me.
So I can't actually remember. I think it was either a root beer or it was a Dr. Pepper actually. But one of my like a fellow music major when I was in college had like a 6-pack of one of those two sodas in his trunk in the summer.
Ooh.
So it got really hot and he was like, do you want one? And I was like,
but not on your life.
No, I said yes. I was like, I would love
God.
to try a hot soda. And it was actually pretty good. But I don't remember what it was. I feel like if it were I don't know if it was it was a darker beverage. So I can't remember if it was a Dr. Pepper, a Coca-Cola, or a root beer. But I just remember being like I've never had hot carbonation before, and it was actually kind of interesting. So, but like,
I'm okay with room temperature, but hot just sounds weird.
It was an experience.
Hot, actually, like a lot of different sodas were served hot in the past, apparently.
Weird.
I know. Pepsi. I might have talked about this before, actually, but so I think Coca-Cola came first as a soda product, and that was before refrigeration. So it was actually meant to be served room temperature or just like as cold as it can be naturally. And then Pepsi, when that came out, was after refrigeration. So its formula was created to match Coca-Cola's flavor chilled. So if you have Coca-Cola and Pepsi at the same temperature, you will taste a difference. So the only time when it'll taste the same is when you have room temperature Coca-Cola and a cold Pepsi. But if you have like a cold Coca-Cola and a cold Pepsi, it'll taste different. If you have a room temperature Coca-Cola and a room temperature Pepsi, it'll taste different. That's why Pepsi is like notoriously sweeter at room temp.
We actually had that test, me and my family.
Yeah, could you taste the difference?
It was this game that was brought on from like a Chinese radio show we were listening to.
Oh, really?
Where they had Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and orange soda. It was like
Oh.
orange Fanta or whatever. The thing is, you had to sample all of them at the same temperature, blindfolded and with your nose pinched.
Yeah, oh, that's
They said that
interesting.
if you take away your sense of smell, you
Uh-huh.
can't tell the difference between carbonated drinks.
I'd be
they
really
said
tempted to try that because I mean I
the
could understand between Coca-Cola and Pepsi, but the orange beverage I feel like would have a significant difference in flavor. But I interrupted you.
that's
Go
what
ahead.
they said. They said that it was like mostly determined by smell. That's what separated
Mm.
the orange drink. So we tried it. We all blindfolded. We all pinched our noses
Uh-huh.
to do it.
Mhm.
My brother, my mother, and I all got it correct.
Okay.
My dad mixed up Pepsi with orange soda.
Wow.
Oh,
That's interesting. But it probably
Mhm.
still has like the
That's
same like
curious.
sweetness profile. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think the orange one did have an extra bit of tang to it. It hurt my tongue in a way the others didn't.
Oh, okay.
But going back to my favorite drink, the
Uh-huh.
last one's probably one you might not have heard of. I don't think.
Hmm.
Also, I realized my model's like wiggling back and forth a lot for some reason. I don't know
You're
why.
having a conversation, you move, you sway, it's fine.
I actually don't know if DM would have heard of this either, but apparently it is a Canadian drink.
What do you mean?
It is
apparently?
a Canadian, because I just looked it up. I don't know where it's from. I thought it was from Italy.
Oh,
But apparently it is a Canadian variant to an Italian drink.
is it Schweppes?
No, it's Brio.
I do not know what that is.
Brio is a Canadian variation of an Italian soft drink called Chinotto.
Is it?
Which-
How
Oh,
is it
I've heard of
spelled?
Brio, but I haven't had it.
It's Brio. It's like a red labeled white text.
Oh, it says beer.
It is not beer. Uh,
I typed Brio drink Canada. Oh,
it looks like
it looks like
Yeah.
a fiesta.
I don't know what that is, but
Why? How do you
The
not know what
fiesta
it
is like party in Spanish.
Yeah, I don't know how you don't know it.
no, it
Hardy.
looks like a can
We
of
don't
soda. It
have
doesn't look like a
That
party.
much of a Spanish-speaking population here. People don't learn Spanish in school in Canada. They learn French.
I never learned
I mean, I know what a
Spanish
fiesta is
either.
as regards to a party. I didn't
Yeah,
know
but it just
if
looks
you
like a
meant, like, a
party.
drink. Why didn't you just say party then?
Because I specifically meant a Mexican party.
This is Spanish, Italian.
But it looks like a Mexican party.
Oh my god. But no, yeah.
Hardinay is learning so much about Canada today.
There's a pizza joint by my university that I always walk by when I go to my friend's place.
Mhm.
So we'd always we're walking together after class. We'll stop for a slice, and he'll always grab like a Coke, and I'll grab a Brio. And like supposedly Chinotto's kind of more bitter than sweet, but this is like a slightly it's like a more bitter, a slightly more bitter cola.
Really?
It's got a bit of a kick to it, yeah.
That's probably good, to be honest. Like, I'm kind of over the super sugar saturated drinks. Like, if it's got some extra kick, whatever that kick may be, I'm okay with it. I think that's why I like Werner so much, or any form of ginger ale, really, because I like that kick of ginger. I really like ginger.
Actually,
Yeah, have you tried ginger beer instead? It's not alcoholic. It's just like it's like ginger ale, but on more ginger.
Oh yeah, I've had there's an Australian brand that actually was talked about on Chilluminati podcast, but my parents
Wow.
totally unrelated. My parents like bought it on a whim because they'd never seen it before, and they decided to buy it. I can't remember the brand name though, but I have tried a ginger beer, and it is delicious. I do like it. It is a little bit
Nice.
sweeter, I think.
I think it depends
could
on
be
the
wrong.
brand. A lot of the
Probably.
ones that I've had are less sweet and more ginger.
Oh, but I know like that one, even though it's carbonated, they do say that they want you to like turn it upside down because it's got like real ginger.
Oh yeah, you want it to mix properly. Yeah.
So that I was pretty pleased by because I can't get enough ginger. I love ginger a lot.
I will say though, Brio on its own is kind of like it's somewhere between sweet and bitter,
Okay.
and it's got this like sharp kick to it. Like I said, so I can drink Brio on its own, but actually my preferred way of drinking it is to buy a canned Brio, and buy a can of iced tea, like lemon iced tea,
Oh, and mix it?
and then mix it 1-to-1.
Ah.
So
Ah.
it softens the kick, but it also introduces that slight bit of citrusy, like
Tang.
sourness to it, tang to it. Yeah.
Oh.
So the flavor becomes like you got sweet, bitter, and sour, which
Oh, なるほどね.
I quite like it.
Actually, it's funny you bring up like mixing drinks because so Werner's is my favorite soft drink like on its own, but my favorite beverage to make that involves a soft drink is actually Shirley Temple's.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like a Sprite or a 7-Up mixed with cranberry juice or cherry juice.
No. It was grenadine.
That's an alcoholic version, right? Grenadine isn't
No.
alcohol? No?
Grenadine isn't alcohol, I believe.
What is that?
Grenadine,
Yeah, grenadine is just it's a syrup.
pomegranate juice, sugar, and lemon
It's
juice.
pomegranate syrup. That's a traditional Shirley Temple is made with grenadine and 7-Up.
That's probably how they make it at like bars or restaurants or whatever. But like if I make it at home, like I grew up just drinking it with cranberry juice. So a Sprite and 7-Up, a Sprite or a 7-Up, and then cranberry juice like 50-50. Or like 60-40, 60 on the cranberry, 40 on
And
the
it's a Sprite
7-Up.
cranberry.
No,
Shirley Temple is uniquely grenadine.
But that's what don't.
Color. You can't just swap the color. Like it's
You're
the same color.
We are just
Listen, that's what
Harune's life right now. Oh my god.
That's
bit
what
by
I've
bit.
grown up with. I don't know any better. That's just what I
Oh
was
no,
told growing
Harune's
up.
entire reality. The name of this GHK is Harune's reality is shattered.
Right.
Remind me, I'll make that the title of this episode. I'm a
Uh,
little sad now. Dang.
there actually is a product just called Sprite Cranberry.
Well,
Yeah,
that's well. They also have like
too.
ketchup, mayo, and different kinds of like mayo sriracha and stuff. But like, I used to mix that stuff up on my own before the products came out with their own mixed version. Listen, don't judge me, okay? I'm just repeating what I was grown up with. Yeah, pat, please. Pat,
Oh
please.
goodness.
I'm sorry I brought it up. Now I feel ashamed. Let's move on.
Oh goodness.
All right, Harune's topic.
Yeah. So actually this past Friday was the opening ceremony to the 2022 Olympics. Winter Olympics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Kai, what are you doing?
I'm blowing my nose.
It just looks like your model's just wiggling. He's just doing a little dance. Oh my
Just
gosh.
wiggling a little.
Yeah, he's just gotta wiggle a bit. But yeah, so in light of that, my non-researched topic, because Kai gave me hell for not having an opinion, was is this if you could so here I'm gonna list the names of the winter sports that are in this year's Olympics. And my question to you is, if you could snap your fingers and magically become competitive enough to participate in any of these, which would they be? So we have alpine skiing. We have the biathlon, which is the skiing and then stopping to shoot something. Bobsleigh, cross-country skiing, curling, figure skating, freestyle skiing, ice hockey, luge, Nordic combined, short track speed skating, skeleton, ski jumping, snowboard, and speed skating.
Luge.
Luge?
Yes.
Yeah, luging's pretty cool. I quite
Yes.
enjoy watching luging. What about you, Kai?
Shot put.
What?
Shot put.
Shot. That's not in here.
That's not in the list. That's a Summer Olympic sport. That is not a Winter Olympic sport.
Did you not
I will-
just listen to the list I just
will
gave
shut
you?
up. In the snow.
COVID.
I will shot put in the snow.
He
So
has COVID.
So you mean biathlon?
No, I just shot put.
I'm gonna...
It's not an option.
Then snowboarding.
I hate you so much right now.
I answered your question.
After getting the answer wrong! How do you have an opinion wrong? You didn't even listen to the list! How did you get the answer wrong? You had
shot put. I like shot put.
Oh
That's not an option.
Jesus. Okay.
Then snowboarding.
Oh my god. Kai is
Alright.
the person that goes to Taco Bell and says, I want a burger.
Idiot.
No, I would never
Absolute
go to.
idiot.
I would never go to Taco Bell for anything other than a Crunchwrap Supreme.
Actually,
Nothing else matters at a Taco Bell.
I've gone to Little Caesars,
Uh.
which is like the local. Have you guys ever seen the commercials for like the $5 hot and ready? Which I kind of doubt because that's nowhere in your area. But that's like a commercial that like I see all the time, and it's just this like local pizza chain that advertises the $5 hot and ready. But also from Subway they have the $5 footlong. So it's pretty common to have people go in either of those stores and like get them mixed up. So like I've gone into like a Little Caesars before and been like, can I please have a $5 footlong? No, you can't. But that's the only time I've gotten it wrong. But anyway,
my
moral of
dad
the
goes to
story
Wendy's and asks for a Whopper all the time.
Oh, no. That's terrible because that's like not even because that's a competitor. Like it's not even like a totally different food. It's like going to a Dairy Queen and asking for a McFlurry. Like
my dad specifically mixes them up because he thinks W goes with W. He
Oh,
thinks
no.
the Wendy's has the Whopper. But to my mom, my mom would never order it because she always like whichever restaurant she goes to, she only orders like the crispy chicken sandwich. So that's easy because everywhere has the crispy chicken sandwich.
Right.
But she'll never remember the name of Whopper or anything. Like every store, every big hamburger is just a Big Mac.
That's so funny. Wait, so Goral DM, can I ask you why the luge?
Because it's like a personal it's like a personal roller coaster.
It's true.
And water slide at the same time. So that just like any time that I've watched, like, because bobsled would be the other one. Bobsled. Either or. Yeah. Either of those would be the ones that I would go for. Just because it's just like wee. I don't care if I win, just wee.
But you would be good enough to compete, so that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be. Yeah. But I would still I would be the person that would just be happy to be there, essentially. Just be like, look at me.
What about you, Kai? So you said snowboarding after you said something that was totally incorrect for winter sports, but why the snowboard?
So I actually snowboard. Not competitively, I just do it recreationally, but I like snowboarding.
Okay. So you just have like
looks really cool.
You would be correct. It does look really cool.
I want to be cool for once in my life, Harune. Is that too much to ask?
Well, when you get the answer
Well,
wrong, you look really uncool.
When I set the world record for shot putting in the snow,
I'm going to smack you.
Then you'll see.
No, the first thing I'll do is I'll hit you, and then I'll see. Then you'll realize you were wrong all along.
She's threatening violence against a sick person.
You're not sick.
Good.
We spent the first hour of this podcast going over the fact that me and DM are sick.
You're sick in the head. That's...
Sound more pathetic, Kai. Come on. Cry a little bit. Add some sobs in.
Cry a little bit. Cry a little bit.
Wait. Did you put like your sad face on? You have to put the sad face.
Put your sad face on.
Oh, I
toggle sad.
Yeah, you gotta toggle sad. Kai. See, you gotta be like this.
Oh, Daddy's a sad face. Oh, poor baby.
I'm so sad.
Oh, poor baby.
I'm so sad.
She's so sad.
You wanna know why I'm sad? You wanna know why I'm sad?
Why are you sad?
Because we stopped bullying Kai.
Oh,
what?
We gotta get back to it then. Kai,
we gotta get back to it.
Toggle your sad face so we can be happy.
Kai, put your sad face on so we can... so we can relish in your misery, Kai.
There we go.
There we go. Now cry. You have to sob softly.
Cry, cry, cry. Oh my god!
No, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Oh no!
He's got
You know what,
like
I think that's the most
that's a good face. That's got just circular open eyeball tear face.
Oh,
That's a
no.
good look.
That's beautiful. That's the perfect one. I like
There
that
we
one
go.
the
That was appropriate.
most.
Like,
Good job, Kai. You did it.
All my hotkeys got reset to default. I couldn't
that's
remember
right.
which key was
Oops.
what.
Yeah.
Oopsies. Oopsie
Ah.
poopsie.
There we go.
But yeah, I guess my topic was super short because I wanted to get your takes on why. But actually, do you guys have a favorite to watch?
Figure skating.
Oh my god, so good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always so impressive. Totally rooting for Nathan Chen. Woo! And apparently Yusuke is not there.
Because there's due to the various circumstances that have been happening. go do some research if you're interested in looking that up. I don't want to start explaining that.
I'm
there's
gonna
been
look into
boycott things of the Olympics.
Oh, that's why he's not there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Naruhodo ne.
It's also why you probably haven't seen as much coverage in general as a normal Olympic would be for like the countdowns and such.
You're right about that. Actually, I was about to talk about that for today's topic, and I was like, maybe not. But like, I just read an article this morning about like the absolutely massive gaping hole where the viewership used to be for the Olympics. So it's like all-time record low ratings for tuning into the opening ceremony.
Yep.
So yeah, like what is this? Facing cataclysmic loss of audience for the 2022 Winter Olympics as viewership tanked for Friday's opening ceremony, averaging just 16 million in the States. So
yeah,
boofy
there were
doodles.
A bunch of there's less coverage on things because of
boycott
reasons that boycott reasons.
Yes, that
there are various articles and things that are covering it that you can. We're not going to get into it here because then the podcast would go on probably another 4 hours. So
yeah,
it's not that I wouldn't want to. It's just that I have COVID.
Yes, and yeah, we got 2 out of the 3 members sort of kind of sick. Kai not really sick, he's just sick in the head. But yeah. I guess if I had to pick, probably either ice hockey or bobsleigh. I like the idea of team sports. Like it takes a bit of the edge off and it's all about just like how well you work together. And it's not just relying on your own strength, but the strength of your teammates, and you sort of like, you know, encourage each other. You train together. It's, I don't know. There's some camaraderie in it. Probably like, because I had thought about this question last night as well, and at first my answer was like figure skating, but pairs. But I don't like the performative nature of it. I get that enough from my own upbringing. So something that's like team related, I think I would enjoy much more. But
I just like to see people do flips and stuff. So I would, if we're talking like Winter Olympics exclusively, I would say snowboarding again.
Yeah.
But otherwise, probably my favorite things to watch would be gymnastics.
The gymnastics is really cool. Also not a winter sport,
really cool.
but
actually, if you want to see something that's really interesting, look up the band figure skating and band gymnastics moves.
Yes. I've seen the band figure skating move. There's only one person who's ever pulled it off, and it's like the one-legged backflip on the ice.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them actually that are one of them. So there was one girl that actually did one of them in her routine.
Oh no.
To protest because they were giving her low scores on purpose.
Wow. How long ago was that?
Less than 10 years ago, maybe?
Oh, sheesh.
I was watching YouTube videos on it. It was just like maybe like 10 to 20 years ago, I think. And there's just like, she was just so done with things that she's like, you know what? I'm
And
gonna do the
here we
backflip
go.
in my routine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. And she landed it, like she did it perfectly and everything. I was just like, dang.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna win anyway, so I might as well do what I want.
Oh, high diving too. High diving too also meets my like flippy criteria. I like watching people flip.
Oh yeah.
I like watching the ones. Wait, is I think it's high dive, right? Where it's like they do their turns or whatever, but it's also about like how much splash they make.
Yeah,
Is that high
yeah.
dive?
Mhm.
I'm
They
always
want to like minimize the amount of splash.
yeah. That's always like the most impressive portion of it to me. Like, of course the flips are impressive, but everyone there is capable of doing flips, right? But like the sick
sorry.
splash. Sorry, go ahead. You go ahead.
Fencing. There's no flipping involved, but if flipping was involved in
Oh,
fencing,
yeah.
it'd be even better.
I like the fencing.
If they could
I like
turn
the
fencing into like
fencing-
prequel lightsaber duels, that'd be great.
Actually, if you search
Yeah.
on YouTube, there is like Star Wars lightsaber fencing. That is a thing. There's like a whole like cool routine that was like made and stuff like that. But anyway, so it sounds like Kai, your preference is actually the Summer Olympic sports.
Just the aesthetic ones. I like to see body in motion, I guess.
Hue.
Like
Speed
luge,
skating is really cool.
luge is cool. Luge is cool, but it's like just a bunch of people like tucked up in their luges.
It's so finite. Like they talk about like, oh, like I was watching luging last night and I guess the track was a particularly difficult one because there was a spot that like a lot of competitors were like just getting too much air, like they were actually like airborne for a brief moment and it would cause them to slam onto the opposite side of the wall and stuff, and so it like notched down a lot of people's times. But I can't even imagine, like, you know, they say like, oh, like you have to keep the body nice and relaxed, like, you know, everyone's going down at like breakneck speeds. So you know the any movement or tension, it's sort of like riding a bike. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I don't know how to ride a bike, but
oh my god! All right, well, just like any sort of like the slightest lean or the slightest shift in your in weight on that luge, you know, changes everything, and that's
Right.
you know, the I don't want to say the beauty of it, but that's where the skill comes in. The technicality of it is just it comes down to the wire, and it's whatever you do in that moment. It's how you push off. It's how you laid out. It's, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think of it as any less of a sport. Like, I'm sure it's got like all those intricacies of like body control, weight control, etc. Like, there's technique to it and everything. And I'm sure like those athletes work just as hard as every other ones. I just like, my personal preference is watching the ones with more dynamic motions.
No, understandable. And I think that's why figure skating and gymnastics are like the most popular ones.
They're just more visually interesting to me.
Yes.
I like the music, and then when they also have like the free performance ones where they can just have a fun
Yeah.
That's the ones that I like the most usually, is when
Mhm.
it's just like they're not necessarily trying to get stuff on the stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they don't have to like meet like very very specific criteria. It's just like I mean, of
They're
course
just having fun.
Yeah.
Like the one girl that does the Russian girl that does the Sailor Moon ones.
Yeah. Ugh.
Didn't somebody do Yuri on Ice the other year?
Yes. Yeah. That actually the Canadians did that.
Yes!
And they did the JJ hand sign as well.
I forgot about that. I love that so much.
I remember looking up at like all this stuff. Like there was a whole bunch of really funny stuff.
Well,
that
also
was
because
regarding
wasn't
with
his
that.
initials JJ?
Yeah, I believe so. It was just like, yeah. So it was
so
really
good.
cute. It was really cute. I liked that a lot.
Ugh, my
yeah.
heart. But yeah, I guess that wraps up episode
Pretty
7.
well, yeah.
Wow, we had a really
Oh.
lengthy conversation today. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot to talk about. I know it's been hard to like, because, you know, we've been sick, or you guys have been sick.
I had to cancel last week because I was dead.
That's right. But I almost feel like more time apart gives us more to talk about because we haven't talked in a regular basis. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's been busy, right?
yeah, so, but it's it's nice. I hope you guys feel better soon.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Except for
Thank
Kai.
you.
What?
Except for
I'm
Kai.
kidding. I'm kidding. I hope
Okay.
you guys get better soon. But thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
taking the time out of your recovery to come and chat today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really much
Thank you.
appreciate it. And you guys stay warm up yonder in the colder regions. Even though
That's my
I'm
plan.
right there with
You're-
you.
Yep.
Yup.
But それでは、
Mhm.
またねバイバイ
Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, I stopped mine. I'm going to export it.